I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. Jimenez, done, complete. Here he is for you on this very early Saturday morning. If you're not watching it Saturday morning, where have you been? Jimenez, 91 rated. Not the easiest of cards to unlock, especially with the whole goal assist nonsense. It's just irritating when you're playing people who know you're going after the card, and you get one of them and then they see you about to get the final requirement and they leave. That happened so many times trying to get this card. There needs to be a punishment for that. They're like leaving games. Like natural disconnects, I get it, right? But if you're the type of person who just leaves a game when you're about to concede a penalty, for example, the person who is on the other end of that has wasted their time and they need to be compensated for it. That's the way I see it. Either way, 3-star skills, not a best start in the world, but still. 4-star weak foot, 6'2", high work rates. What is with these players and high work rates? Because Perez, the other unlockable objective, has that as well, which is a little bit irritating because it gives them a disadvantage in the sense of when you're on the counter-attack, you have a little bit of catching up to do. And it is a little bit irritating when that happens because he starts further down the pitch. With Perez, he has a little bit more pace to him, a little bit more zip. His agility is higher, he's shorter, lower centre of gravity, and he's a little bit quicker. With Jimenez, 6'2", yes, his agility isn't bad, but his balance is awful. And with that 85 acceleration, rather than the sprint speed side of things, because that's 95, if they were the other way around, maybe we wouldn't be talking about this. It would feel that much better. But unfortunately, he starts slightly further down the pitch and he doesn't quite have the pace to catch up that quickly. Now, I'm trying to get the negatives out of the way first because the positives of this card far outweigh the negative. And I think we're more or less there. 3-star skills a little bit annoying, but you can still do your roulettes, your side-to-side heel flicks, standard frontwards. I don't do those that often this FIFA, to be fair. Every now and again maybe, but I do the side-to-side more than anything else. And of course the drag back being your best friend. Now, I've got a marksman on him, which turns him into a 97 rated striker. Bear in mind, of course, and I know you know this, but I feel like I need to tell you anyway, this guy's free, right? Okay, time isn't free, sure. However, in terms of FIFA points or coins or whatever, you don't have to spend anything to get him. You can get him for free. That is beautiful. A 97 rated card with a chem cell, of course, for free. Yes, please. He's going to fit most people's teams as well. I would imagine most of us have decent Premier League teams, whether they be first owner or whether they're your main squad or whatever. But 85 acceleration, 95 sprint speed, 99 with a chem style for positioning, finishing, shot power, volleys and penalties. And he obviously goes up to 91 long shots, which is still pretty impressive. 92 short passing, 90 vision. I mean, he's a 95 rated cam with a marksman. I'd be very curious to know, actually. If I was to give him an engine, maestro, 97 rated centre forward or a 96 rated cam with an engine or a maestro. An artist, still 96. But, I mean, you can use him whatever position you want, realistically. I wouldn't really go for a box-to-box because he doesn't have any defensive stats whatsoever. But, yeah, striker, cam, centre forward, you do you, whatever you feel is best. I would say that this card is one of the, I think probably the best free card we've ever been given the opportunity to unlock. Did we have an Aubameyang back in... Was it like FIFA 17, FIFA 18? I think we may have had a Footies Aubameyang way back then. I think he might have been like 96, 97 rated. I can't remember. But either way, this card is absolutely incredible on paper. So, with that being said, what's wrong with him? Yeah, not an awful lot, really. I've already mentioned it, really. The skill moves are annoying. That's not anything wrong with him. The defensive work rate and the fact that he's not quote-unquote meta, because he just doesn't feel like a 5'9" player. And that's not a bad thing necessarily, because not every card has to be 5'9", 99 agility to make them usable. It's just this game being the way that it is, his dragbacks can feel, not all the time, and in fact I wouldn't even say 10% of the time. It's less than that even. Sometimes his dragbacks do feel a little bit heavy, and sometimes he comes out of a turn a little bit heavy, but it's not game breaking. It's not to the point where, well, I'm not using this card anymore because he's irritating as hell. I do think it's a starting 11 player. I do think he's capable of being that man for you. Depends what you have in your team. I don't know what your team looks like. If you've got Mbappe, Neymar and Ronaldo in your team, sure, then Jimenez is going to take a back seat, and you've only unlocked it because you're that good or you're that bored, and that makes sense. I get it, right? But with Jimenez, I feel like he offers a little bit more than your average player because he's so well-rounded. He's got that strength, which a lot of players with his finishing and his pace won't have. So often you have a trade-off. You have either strength and relatively good finishing, but absolutely no mobility, or you have mobility and no strength. Because I go back to it because it's the other objective card. Perez, for example, has mobility, feels unbelievably good on the ball, but unfortunately doesn't have very good strength. But whereas Jimenez has the 94 strength with the chem style. I mean, still 89 without a chem style, and his frame of 6'2 as well is definitely going to help out there. And of course, you've got that pace, you've got the finishing. His finishing is very good. I had a lot of fun with that. Belotti comes to mind because Belotti is one of those cards, the season objective card. His finishing is some of the best in the game. In fact, he may even have the best finishing in the game. I'm not sure why him over everybody else, but just worth a mention. But Jimenez doesn't quite come to that standard, but he's not far off. And I say not quite because it's not far off at all. He's very, very similar, very, very close in that sense. His finishing is fantastic. His positioning, his natural positioning, even without a chem style, is insane. He's always in the right place at the right time. He might start a little bit further back when you first pick up the ball in terms of a counter-attack. Kind of work that to my advantage though, because if you use him as a striker, and you've got fast overlapping wingers, or you've got another fast striker if you're using 4-1-2-2. Make sure you've got a relatively quick cam as well if you're not using Jimenez as your cam, of course. I know a lot of people tend to use 4-2-3-1 these days, but you can use that to your advantage. So Jimenez will be able to hold up the ball. He's 6'2", he's got that strength, and then you can play in, because you've got 92 short passing, 90 vision, you can play in whomever you want, over the top, through balls, slide through ball around the outside, through the middle, whatever you want. Mbappe off the bench with Jimenez was an absolute dream. Either Mbappe plays Jimenez through, and the beautiful thing about this card, right, and a lot of people will not really think of it this way, you've got that catch-up thing. So you play the ball through to one of your strikers, and they just don't feel like they're that quick. They're like really slow. They're slowing down big time. The defender, who's got like 12 pace, is catching your Ronaldo, for example, right? With this card, you've got so much strength and frame, because 6'2" doesn't go unnoticed, that's for damn sure. You are more than capable of holding off a defender. And if you hold down L2 or LT, whichever platform you're on, or was it ZL if you're on Switch, if you hold down... Does Switch have Team of the Season? I don't know. If you hold down that button while sprinting at the same time, you literally just throw an elbow out. The defender will drop back a yard or two, and you're through. And that's it. You can just power up again and keep going with your pace. That is something that Jimenez does so well. So going back to it, if you have Jimenez and Mbappe, both of them work together like peaches and cream. Is that even a thing? I hate peach, but I've heard that being a strawberries and cream. That's more of a thing. Not a big fan of strawberries either, if I'm honest. Should we stop talking about food? Making me hungry. Jimenez is brilliant. That's what I'm here to tell you. Is he worth your time? Absolutely. Definitely has that sort of slightly heavier feel than your average 92 agility player, and that comes down to the height and the balance. But it's not to the point where he's unusable. It's not to the point where it gets on my nerves. It's just I need to keep it in the back of my mind, because sometimes I know that I'm not going to be able to change direction as quickly as someone like Neymar. It's just not in his nature to do it, and that's fine. It's understandable. So just bear that in mind, and you will have an awful lot of fun. Fantastic in front of goal, very good short passing, unbelievable strength. The stamina is great. Of course, if you do feel the need to cross the ball, he's got 99 heading. It is an absolute dream to use this card. And more so, it's free. That's what it comes down to. He is definitely worth your time. And to throw Perez in there as well. That card is also very, very good. But go check out that review if and when I've uploaded it. But with that being said, let me know what you think of Jimenez in the comments. Is it worth your time? You tell me. If you've done it already, let me know if you like it or not. And of course, if you haven't done it, are you going to complete it? Hit the like button if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for new. And until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.